Have you ever heard about falling birth rate in Japan? Since post-war, income levels have improved, and the economy has grown. The number of children has been decreasing in Japan. Now, did you know how much has it decreased? As the graphic, the total fertility rate, the average number of children born to a woman over her lifetime, has decreased dramatically since the 1950s from over 4 to its half in Japan. Now it is 1.42 in 2018, when the number of new babies is about 900,000, while over 2 million children were born around 1950. Have you ever wondered why the declining has been advancing in Japan? One of the reasons may be changes in the sense of values and rises in education and nursery costs for children. My name is Hon Channel. In my presentation today, I'll talk about the situation of falling birth rate in Japan. I've divided my presentation into 3 parts. First, I'll outline the main causes of falling birth rate in Japan. Second, I'll explain the effects of this situation on the country. Third, I'll suggest how these issues can be solved. Are you ready? Let's begin. The number of children born in Japan has been decreasing since 1949 after World War II because there are various factors behind this. First, as a rise in income levels and the economy, children are no longer an indispensable condition for earning a living. The improvement of the social security system and changes in the industrial structure with a decrease in the number of farmers have enabled parents not to be looked after by their children. Second, changes in people's sense of values and varieties of life choices have reduced the chance of marriage and raising children, which have become burdens to more people. The opportunity cost for childbirth and child raising have increased in recent years due to the popularization of higher education, especially among women, leading to less conventional choices. Finally, changes of the environment and social structure have made it more difficult to raise children. The work environments make more difficult women's coming back and the balancing of long hour work and family. While there is lack of nursery centers in our towns, there are various effects of falling birth rate which are and will be visible now and in the near future. A decrease in Japanese population is a serious cause of concern for the future of its economy and society. As fewer youths support more elders in the country, its economy declines, the sector of the social security is reduced, and they fail to support them soon. In addition, declining birth rate in Japan is advancing much faster than in other industrialized countries. As its population declines, Japan cannot avoid acceptance of immigrants as a more cheaper labor force. Furthermore, leading political decisions depend on the elders. The more elders have votes in selections of candidates or referendums, the more likely the country's decisions are to get one direction. As a result, young and potential citizens have some more troubles in obnoxious administration or reluctant engagement, deficit JGB, environment, and so on. There are several solutions individuals and the government can do to try and stop falling birth rate. First, develop an environment where women who want to have children can bear and raise ones. It is basically important to improve nursery facilities, to allow women to continue working while raising children, and to become more heartful towards mothers and their children. changing the system where men work and women do not. Wages and the number of employing companies should be more equal to men and women. Each company should develop an employing environment where people can choose diversified working styles that meet their individual work skills and lifestyles, and ensure job opportunities and re-employment. Finally, the country's tax system reform may be effective. Tax should be alleviated as a preferential treatment for every child and increase with more children. It is important to reform the government's budgets earned from more elders, most of which should be returned to more mothers and more reason child-raising costs, mainly for nursery and education. To conclude, it is clear that the recent foreign birth rate is a serious problem in Japan, which has led to economic damage to the social security system that young people can no more afford supporting the elders. It is certainly important that women raise children and return to work more easily without any worries or salary reduction. Conversely, we should reduce tax for mothers to make a country where they want to bear babies, and we can maintain the country's voice. Thank you for listening. Okay. Possible questions on the presentation on foreign birth rate in Japan. Question 1. You said changes in people's sense of values and varieties of life choices have reduced the chance of marriage. Then, how do people become more willing to get married? According to some recent research, men's employment and wages impact on marriage. So firstly, it will be effective to encourage men to be employed with as high salary as possible. Question 2. You said a decrease in Japanese population is a serious cause of concern. Are there any other countries that have suffered similar falling birth rate? Yes, the total fertility rates in Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore are lower these days than that of Japan, which are around 1.3. In Europe, eastern and southern countries such as Italy, Germany, and Spain are mostly the same lower situation as Japan, while France and the UK are keeping their fertility rate at 2. You said, question 3, you said, Japan cannot avoid acceptance of immigrants as a more cheaper labor force. Are you opposed to this increase in immigrants? It cannot be helped, but I'm afraid that the public security may become poorer somehow, like in the UK, which has decided Brexit as a result of such reasons. Final question. You said it is important for us to become more heartful towards mothers and children. What can we do for them, for example? For example, in a train we can willingly offer our seats to expectant mothers who always feel very happy because of their babies. In this way, we can think more heartfully for our mothers and children. Thank you.